Hello viewers, my name is Todi. I'm a relationship guru. When I say relationship guru, don't be too impressed. It just means I've had my share of heartbreaks, friend breaks, anything break. Just think about it, I've had it. And in spite of that, I'm moving on. And I would consider myself a very successful relationship manager. Why do I say that? For you to become a professional singer, you must have sung many times off key, produced the most crackiest of songs, lost your music, forgotten your lyrics several times, endured the most embarrassing moments, and then you can still stand on that stage in spite of all those hiatuses or whatever you want to say. So when I say relationship guru, it's like a doctor. When you say a doctor is a professional, the first thing that comes to mind is wow. But don't be deceived. It just means he's had a lot of experiments, made a lot of mistakes, caught people in the wrong places, caught things in the wrong places. You can ask the Isaac Newtons of this life, and they will tell you, being a professional or being a big time person means you make big time mistakes. But you're still able to get up and go and say, you know what? I know who I am. I'm not determined or defined by the bricks or the broken stuff. The broken stuff actually make me. And that's why I'm saying, although Valentine's Day basically is meant to be a time for love, I would say the first place to start is to love yourself. If you can love yourself in spite of the people that left, who's remaining in your life, what people think about you, then I would say yes, you've succeeded. That's not the only thing. Being a relationship expert also means that sometimes you define relationships, and it also means you're still learning, because in actual fact, if you want to be a consultant, one of the marks is that you are always learning, and that shows that you are in a state of humility. You know that you are not there yet, you are and will still learn a bit more. Unlike what we've got in our days, loads of people who sit with armored tanks, invisible ones. They're just waiting for you to make a mistake. Like, how dare you talk to me like that? Don't you know who I am? How dare you? But that's what we have these days. We've got lots of proud people. It's good to have self-pride, that's great. But when you have people who are intolerant of other people, it makes it difficult for them to have any relationship. So don't be deceived by the quiet. When people are quiet, perfect, unlike people like me, maybe that's a sure sign for watch out. But the point is, who's going to give them the grace? Are we ready even to say, okay, help me and I'll try and teach you? And that's where the fuss comes in when we're talking of perfect, because there's no one who doesn't make a mistake, because in actual fact, your perfection means you already have crossed a boundary. It means you're already in someone else's turf. What I usually advise is, you can never get your pound of flesh without blood. But yes, maybe over 50 years, with exfoliation, yes, you could actually get your pound of flesh. That aside, with the digital age being what it is, everybody's sitting in front of a TV, all perfect videos. It makes it difficult for human beings to talk or relate with one another. what you have then are kids who may not listen to their mom's lullaby because mom doesn't sound like TV. She's just not good enough. And then you have young people telling one another to shush. You don't sing it right. So what do you have? Is there any room to improve when people don't even allow you make a mistake? I would say yes. If they don't allow you, go into the bush. Go in by yourself. Allow yourself a chance. Shut the door. Sing it the wrong way till you get it the right way. That being said, I'm not going to say that you're going to get everything at once, and that's the thing. That is living. Living is that we learn from mistakes. We learn from falling. From crawling, we grow up to flying. And even after you run, like Usain Bolt, you're still going to fall many times. You're still going to have scrapes in your knees. But then I think what actually makes you a professional is the fact that you look at the graze in your knees and then you imagine the gold medal and you say, you know what? This graze on my knee is not worth the gold medals and the contract I'm going to get. And you just dust your foot, limp home, treat yourself, get up and go again. There are so many people who could have been Usain Bolts but did not give themselves that chance because they gave up. Another question I've got is, what is the use of perfect if it doesn't relate to other people in that sense? What is the use of knowing so much if you cannot communicate with people? So you have so much in your head, and this is where I think of Christians and religion. I'm glad that Christianity is actually not being godly as far as I'm concerned, because Jesus was not even a Christian. Jesus was the Messiah. He was a Savior. The best thing about God that people miss about him is that he doesn't even follow the law. The law is just there to show you that you can't do it on your own. You need a Savior. Which is what it explains why Moses was still in the book of people that made it, even though he didn't get to the promised land. It means that, in actual fact, righteousness is imputed. It is not earned, especially with God. I think that's the biggest thing about God that people miss. And they forget that God is not an idiot. When he says he's looking for people like him, it means he's looking for people who will be good to others, even though they don't look like God, so to speak. They're not big. They're not pastors. Yes. They're not even churchgoers, maybe. Because if you can respect that crack, that person on cocaine, if you can respect that little child, isn't it awesome that God makes sure that everybody passes through that phase of being little? And then you look at those little gifts that God has given us, children, and you go like, this is the person that is controlling my life right now? Well, because once a child comes into the picture, the whole thing changes. It revolves around them. In a way, God has come in form of babies, in form of those insignificant things. It's left to us to recognize that we need to nurture these relationships, nurture one another, and that is actually helping ourselves, because our relationships eventually make us. We never leave a relationship the way we came out of it. It's either you are bitter or better. It's your choice. I made up my mind a long time ago that however it ends, sweet, sour, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be better for it. I'll learn from it. I'll know what to not do next. I'm going to tell you one funny little story. My little child, the youngest, was told by her older ones that she had an invite for a party. What they had done, they'd written the invite and slotted it in through the post and acted like postmen, really. I looked at the letter and I just burst into laughter. I could see it was a trick on her. But she came to me and said, "Mommy, Anisha has invited me for a party." And I said, "No, that's not an invite." The older two burst into laughter. The only reason why I could tell at first glance was because I know what it is not. The letter had no name on it. So maybe the first thing at knowing what is knowing what it isn't. And that's what most of us are missing. We haven't even allowed ourselves the time or the opportunity to make mistakes, so that when the real thing comes, we can say, yes, that's it. I think we need to lighten up a bit. I know we all love to be perfect. I know many people are going to hack me for this again, because this is not a perfect video. I'm working towards it. But right now, I ain't got nothing perfect. And yes, I'm still happy being me. Thank you for all the subscribers and all the leavers. You just teach me a better way to do things next time. Thank you for all the critics. Thank you for all the likers as well. Thanks for the people that support me in spite of my mistakes. I think that's what life is about. Let's have fun living and loving. NowGem, have a great day. Happy Valentine's Day.